Okay, in this session, I'm going to start focusing on getting the doors and the toilets and that kind of thing going inside the building itself. So I'm going to focus on sorting out the bathroom areas, for example, and then maybe look at trying to resolve the staircase and how the stairs work on the other floors. Okay, so first off, I'm going to focus on the step over here. It won't look that good at the moment, so just sometimes these windows won't look good. It's just because the way they're cut, so you'll need to go and change that a bit later. But let's bring back the floor plans. Okay, so once I've got the floor plans in, thing I'm going to do is going to go and find some appropriate toilets, things like that. I'm going to start bringing that information in. So I'm going to say insert, load family. So I might go to the metric library first, because there are some good objects here. So fittings, so fixtures, I'm looking for urinals. So in essence, there's a screen between them. You can use this option where you get screens. I'm just going to use some basic urinals. It might want to host in the wall for the time being, but we can play with those options. So fixtures, that's fine. I'm looking for toilets, water closets. So I'm going to find one that kind of works for me. I think this one will work fine. There's a disabled toilet that we can maybe look at, but generally these will have a cistern with them. Okay, that's fine. I'll use that one for now, and then I just need a very small basin, wash hand basin, and then I'll get the so I want a very small basin, because generally in these little kitchens, these types of, they use very small. I can use a lot of the stuff from here for like the sinks. They kind of, so you get 2D sinks. So in essence, I want a very small. So let's just have a look here. All right, so I just want a very small basin. Open that, and then I'll just get a basic sink for this. I'm not going to worry about doing something that crazy. So here I'm just going to go and find, I'm going to look for a nice kitchen sink. To be honest, I think this is kind of what they'll use in any case. All right, so now that I've got all of that in play, the first thing I'm going to do very quickly is just establish some brickwork. And just remember, this is going to go from ground. So if I grab my section, let's move the section, we'll put it in over here. So this is a bit of an overkill, and you'll find that there's a bit of a false ceiling. So a lot of these walls will stop underneath the slab. They'll go through the slab, so that that wall might go through to the bottom, so that one will go minus 510. But generally, everything's going to stop on the side here. So like this wall, for example, will stop to the underside of the slab. So here we're going to have to do some, you might find there's a false ceiling and that kind of thing happening in this bathroom. Okay, so let's go back to ground floor. I'm going to go use my walls quickly. So it's all going to be plastered walls. So walls, this will be a 115 plastered wall. It's going to start at 0 and it's going to end at minus 255, just for this exercise. And I'm going to use center line. I'm not going to go right. You'll see that Revit will kind of identify the center line of the wall already. It understands if you're tracing. So I'm just going to go and generate this information as quick as I can. So that wall I can pull through. So this wall I can take. I'm not joining it to the other wall just yet. We'll do that in a minute. I'm just trying to establish some of these. I don't know why they've made that a 230 wall, but that we can definitely incorporate. Okay, I've got enough information in here now to kind of All right, so in these kind of spacings, we'll need to double check as well. I've noticed some of these things can be drawn quite poorly. Okay, here there's some sort of a closet happening. I'll leave the column where it is. I wouldn't build that brickwork. There's some sort of little storage room happening here, what's part of the bathroom. In essence, I wouldn't show this. I'll just block this off and make this a little storeroom, for example. Okay, so you come into the kitchen. Oh, I see. There's an opening here. You come into, there's an opening over here for the men. So you walk through an opening. I would just put a door over here. I wouldn't do this kind of arrangement. But anyway, for argument's sake, I'll just copy this, create similar. Okay, that's fine. All right, so this one I can trim with that. That can go to there. That can go to there. This one can go to there. Right. This one can go through to there. Sure, this lady's bathroom is very tight. There wouldn't be a sink there. I'll just put one sink there. This is bad, very bad drawing. Create similar. Oh no, this one can go to there. Yes. Okay, there's your urinal there. So here's another gents. Okay, technically there's two ladies. I don't understand how you get into this toilet. They haven't done this there clearly, so something is amiss here. Okay, so there's a door in here to get into the RC. So create similar. This one will go from there to there. This to there. Okay, and that one will also be minus, that'll be 0, minus 255, and that can go to there. Okay. TS, that can go to there. TS, that can go to there. That can go to there. That can go to there. Okay, I'm not going to, this wall I might put in as well. Okay, trim that with that. Move that from there to there. Align that with that. Remember, this wall's not going to be as, that'll be a 255, that'll be, yeah, that's fine. Go to there. Okay. Create similar. So this will be core exterior. That's what it does, it puts a plaster around the, that's important. Here they've just left. That's, I don't think that'll ever happen. I'm very dubious about going past this column, but anyway, we'll leave it as is. That is just, this is poor planning. TS. I'll check the dimensions in a minute as well. I just want to make sure that these toilets are the right size and the doors swing correctly, etc. Okay, then there's some sort of a door that you come in here. I'm not going to worry about that. This information I will generate as well, these DB cupboards, so create similar. So this I would definitely will centerline. These little cupboards I'll definitely create, and I'll also explain that they won't have masonry inside. So these generally won't have any masonry inside. And these are a certain size as well. These look very small. From my experience, this looks very tight because you've got to fit a fire hose reel inside. Okay, that's not looking very good. This create similar. Okay, so generally that won't have any plaster. Okay, and these walls won't have. It's usually it's plaster on the outside, but it won't have any plaster inside. So you've got a fire hose reel and a DB. I'll fix those to suit. I'm going to do the same. Here we've got a DB and a fire hose reel in here. So this kind of stuff I will play around with a bit later. So here I'll put this wall, but this is all stud work inside. I don't understand what's going on. I won't bother doing the internal. This is just an open floor, but I'm putting in all the services, the bathrooms. Okay. Alright, so now that I've got all the bathrooms in place, I can start putting in the toilets and my components. So the sink I'm going to put over here. I'll create a cabinet for it now. Okay, now I need the toilets, a component. need to find my toilet. And I'll explain what we'll do in a minute. So that will go there, that will go there, go there, spacebar, it will go there. We'll get these to work correctly. That will go there, that will go there, it will go there. Okay, we need a urinal. So I've used a lot of the stuff from the website that they've given us. So just make sure, put this over there, there's my urinal. Okay, that's going to work well. Got all my bathrooms, got the sink, and the sink I'll show you how that'll work in a minute. But we'll put that in one corner, depends where everything drains. Here we've got a duct. I don't understand why that brick does ducts up like that. Anyway, we'll maybe into here to get at the back, we'll see. Okay, so we've got that. Got all this happening. Now I just need the small wash hand basins. So that looks a bit more accurate because these things are usually very small, especially in these situations. This could work on this door. Highly unlikely because I don't know how you're going to get in. I'll put this at the back of the door here. I'll just put one in. This is very, very poorly drawn. Okay, now, I see. This goes through to there. Mistake. Okay, so you come in through here. So grab, copy this, put this over there. So that will go from there to there, there to there, and this will align. So that will go to there. Okay. All right. So now that we've got all this information in, the next thing we need to start pulling in now is the doors. Okay. All right. So I've got special doors for the DB cupboards. but we're going to edit some of the stuff now. Okay. And I've got built the entrance more or less where you come into this place. So this will be a double service door. These doors will be single. So this looks like this is like a servant's or an external toilet over here, which you can then go through into this area. So this looks like a bit of a control. So this looks like more of a servant's kind of thing. However, this column is quite concerning how this will work, but anyway, it is what it is. The next thing I'm going to do now is start introducing some doors. Okay, so I'm going to go and say insert, load family, and I'm going to pull in doors from my library. I've been doing this for some time. So okay, so here we've got all of these special service doors, for example. So I'm going to bring in all the service doors. I'm going to grab all of these. I'll bring all of them in. So I've got a single, so we've got special service doors here. So those I'm going to open all of those. I can always clean out the stuff that I don't need later on. Okay. So I'm going to say load family again. I'm going to go back one. I'm going to bring in circulation and passage doors. I'm going to bring in both of these. These are special doors that you would use for circulation in an office, for example. When they've got a service door at the back, you might find it'll have where they, so the back of the building where you service the building, these special doors that you'll use for that. So like family. So let's go back one. Okay, fire doors, tenant doors, public ablution doors. I'm going to bring all these in. These are all got different sizes, so I'll bring all these in as well. Open. These are very different because they're certain heights, for example. Okay, so let's start putting in some doors. Architecture, door. So I'm going to find, so Okay, you can see these door sizes don't kind of time with what they're doing here. That's actually, let me just find out, let me just find my 81s. You know, these door sizes are pretty poor from their side. So, and let's just see, that's a family door, that's disabled. This is a standard door. So I'm going to put one in. I've got a feeling these sizes are quite, so I'm going to just try and get them down to a different. Generally, these toilets cubicles are 900 wide, but I've got a feeling they're very small. So I'm going to make these 7. So I'm going to edit type. So the door width for these, I'm going to have to make sure that I change the right hand and left hand doors. Generally, we used to make these quite wide, but I'm going to make these 800, 850. Press apply. Do the same for the right hand, 850. Okay, and I'm going to make the heights. Generally, we make these heights quite high, but I think for this, I'm going to make them to 100. Okay, 850, and I'll do the same for the left hand to 100. Okay, let's apply. Okay. Okay, we usually use an aluminium door, so pick new host. So here, yes, I can't believe it. This is pretty bad. This is pretty bad. So these openings are not even, they should be 900 openings. This is pretty bad. I can't believe that these people do this kind of thing. Oh, that is shocking. So I'm going to have to make a couple of these doors. This one will have to be 700. 7, let's make it 7. Let me see what the opening is here. But now all of these doors will have to be 845. Let's see what this one is. 845. Let's check all of these. Got a feeling this is, see, this is so inconsistent. This is shocking. Okay, let's just make these 800. Okay, this is not ideal, but okay, so pick new host. Remember, left hand, right hand. We want to use these rules. Okay, create similar. Okay, this door, what I tend to do is maybe align that with that. So align, so the door, it's flush on the one side. That's not ideal either, but anyway, it's just the way they've done it. And we usually use an aluminium frame in these situations, but that's fine. So create similar. Okay, that will be a right hand door, left hand door. Okay, so I might, for the toilets, I'm going to leave it the same size. All of these. Create similar. This is less than ideal. The fact that these doors will have to be made. Okay, so these doors will have to be purposely made. Let's just make sure that these doors don't wrap. I don't want to wrap. Okay, that's great. Okay, create similar. Okay, that will be a left-hand door. I'm just going to use the same size for all of these doors, just to keep things standard for the bathrooms. Create similar. These are different doors. Those are going to keep as is, and then put one in here. That'll be a right-hand door. Okay. Align that to that, and I'll also align that with that. See that? Okay. Here you would want to change the swing because you don't want to look into the toilet, for example. this one elbow line to there. That would work a bit better. Okay, I'm still not happy with the size of these doors. I'm wondering if I'm going to change them all to 850s. 850, and do the same for the left hand. Okay, 850. Fine. Okay. No, do. Okay, that's not going to work. All right, so generally these toilets are too tight. In the office environment, you might get away with it, but generally, these doors need to be a lot bigger than this. So unfortunately, that is what it is. So any new bathrooms that you'll do will need to comply. But I'm happy with that for now. So let's just go to this and switch on my section box very quickly. Okay, so I've got my bathrooms working nicely. You can come into them. They kind of work. Look, it's pretty bland. But in essence, that's enough information that I need. Okay, I see that window's missing. I don't know why that window's missing. I must just make sure. Ground floor. Create similar. This window will probably be something like that. I will place it in the middle. So go back to 3D view. Yeah, you have a window going into the duct. It's not the best, but at least it will work. Okay. The next thing I'm going to do now is once I've got my bathrooms kind of created, I mean, this is enough information for now. The next thing I'm going to do is going to put a counter. So I'm going to switch this off from perspective to orthographic. I'm going to select this wall, this wall, this wall, this wall, and that back wall. I'm going to say section box. That's what I want to do, and then pull this back down. Okay, I just need to make a counter for, and this needs to be 900 off the ground floor. So just see 900, that's fine. Okay, so I need to put in a quick worktop in here. All right, so that's quite easy. So I'm going to go to architecture, component, model in place. I'm going to say casework. I'm going to say ground floor kitchen. Right, I'm going to create extrusion. So I'm going to work off ground floor. So this will end at 900 and be minus, that'll be 850. They're usually about 70 thick. And I'm just going to pick this face here, there, and I'm going to say, go to top view, and I'm going to say offset 900, 600. Worktop 600, trim that, and I'm going to leave it, it's finished. Oh, that'll be 870. Okay, and then all I need to do now is just go edit extrusion. I need to cut away. I just need to make a rectangle around cut this opening. Knock that out. That's fine. When I'm doing this quickly, you can do this a lot more accurately. So in essence, there's your little work, and that material we can go and find they usually use some type of with sheathing. I'll just leave it like that in the top. I'll use, that's fine. Okay. Alright, so that's okay. My toilet door will be slightly different, but I think for the sake of doing it, I'll just use one of these same doors, but I'll duplicate it and make a much better door. So in a nutshell, I've done my bathroom very quickly. I'll do the floor above because that one will be duplicated all the way to the top. So I'm happy with the way this looks. I've got my sink in place, got my ducts. I'm going to say copy. I'm just going to use the same door for this. It's not the correct size door. In essence, that door should have been an 838 panel, but let's just duplicate this. I'm going to duplicate this and say I'm going to call this, so let's say rename. I'm going to say this will be a left hand, but it'll be a 900. These are not standard doors. So usually, so I want to adjust the door panel width. It should be an 838 door. So I'm going to call this an 838. That's a standard door. Okay. And then go to my right hand. Oh, my apologies. So I'm going to duplicate this. I'm going to make this 2 for now. This original one, which I'd made, that one, that left-hand one, should be renamed 800. Okay, this one will be an 838. So this will be 838. Okay, it'll adjust the panel size correctly because we're using and rename. Okay, let's go to here. This one, I'm gonna, don't worry about this. I'm gonna rename this. This will become 800 door, and I'm going to duplicate it, and this will become an 838. 838 right hand door, and that will be 838. Okay, just remember this will be a 838 left hand door. There we go. And we usually give it an offset like that, but that's fine. That's more of a standard size door. Okay, these doors are slightly different. So these are service doors, for example. So a door, this will be a door 41, for example. So I'll pray that they've put these the right size. Yeah, this is looking better. No, they haven't. And it will be a left-hand door, right-hand door. Again, poorly. This is poorly done. Okay, this door just fits. So that technically, whoever tweaked this wall, it's done badly, man. Sometimes there's just no words. So this passage width should have been, to accommodate this door, not an 8, it should be 900. So this passage should have been 900. That is, I'm shocked with the detailing of this drawing. This is not fantastic. So they haven't taken into account the plaster line, for example. So generally this passage should be at least 950. Okay, so I'm going to make an executive call here and put this door in the middle. Okay, the door will try and host itself in the middle generally. Okay, let's go to 3D view. Let's start, see now that's better. That's a proper service door. Okay. We can start playing with how these doors work, but that's an actual steel frame. This is how these steel frames work. Okay. And it should have a door handle outside. That's great. Okay. Alright, so I've kind of, my ground floor is starting to take a bit of shape. Okay. This is starting to work well. We've got a little cupboard underneath here. I'm not going to incorporate the cupboard. This wall, so this wall I'll take through, because technically this will go through to here up until the column. And then I'm going to go and say wall, basic internal plaster. There's going to be, I'm going to use external face, wall, exterior. I'm going to say plaster on one side. So here I'm going to say there's a wall from there to there, and then there's a wall from there to there. Okay. This wall should have actually done something like that. Okay, that's a DB, so that wall will just be a standard masonry wall. Okay, align that to that. Okay, this is also done pretty badly, so we'll create similar. Okay, all right, so that's my DBN. I've got my lift. This will be a service door, so I can use the same door as this. Create similar. Service door. That's going to be a right hand. I always try and keep a brick course away. So from there to there, 115. So at least there we can return the brickwork. That's important. Okay, so we've got a door going into there now. This I will change as well. Generally, we try and put the double door in the middle, not on the side. We can make an executive call there. Generally, I like to put the door in the middle, so that's what I'm going to do. Okay, so I've got my lift, I've got my DB. Now I just need a double service door. Again, I don't know where they're getting the door sizes from. And I think there's a double service door here. Okay, I'm working with standard door sizes here. Okay, in a nutshell, I think that's switch that off, and we start looking around. So at the back there's a bit of a step here, but that's fine. That's a double service door. It's got some works well. Again, that will work well. So we've got a double service door there. We've got some doors happening in there. Okay. So for the ground floor, I think I'm pretty happy. I've got a service door going into here, which works well. Here I've got a double access door to this room over here, so that opens outwards for escape purposes. Generally, this is not classed as an escape door, so that's fine. I just need some service doors now for this. So I'm going to go and use this door again here. Create similar. Okay, these are a lot smaller. Let me see what size these are roughly. 1200s. Okay, so create similar. I'm going to put this in for now. All I'm going to do here is I'm going to duplicate this double door. So I'm going to duplicate. So this one I'm going to rename. This is a 151575 door. Okay, I'm going to duplicate this. So you're going to have a 610 by 610 door. So 610 by 610 is a 1220. So it's a 610 leaf or 510. I think a 510 door leaf we can have a look at. Let's see. Timber doors. Sizes. The door sizes. Okay, I know you get much smaller ones. I think you get 610s. You get a much smaller one than that in the metrics. You get a 610 if I remember correctly. Let me just see on the Swatlands, wooden timber doors. Let me just say solid core. Timber solid core door sizes. Builders, they might have them. It's an 813 door, so I'll need to go and adjust that other door there. But you get them a lot smaller. No, there's a whole guide where you get these auto spec. Let's have a look at auto spec timber door sizes. Okay, if I remember correctly, it's 610, but I will confirm. So you do get a smaller. We used to use a 610 door as a service door, so you do get those smaller sizes here. They're not that common, so we'll look at that. So standard door size in South Africa, sorry, it's 813, so I'll need to amend those other ones for the time being. So pause that. Okay, so all I did was in my second floor, I made this bathroom layout and I duplicated it and I put it on every single floor. So I duplicated and put it on every floor. So I just copied everything and moved it up and down. Okay, so this is pretty straightforward to do. I might just have to put in, there's something that's happening here that's not correct that I might have to show. It's not showing correctly, but I'll double check everything now. So here I'm going to grab a section through here. So let's go to 3D view and I'm going to grab a section box. Just go to toilet section. So here we can work down the floors. So let's go to this floor. Go a little higher. So in essence, all I'm trying to establish now is to have all this information in for every floor. So this counter is not that great, but it'll do the job for what we're trying to do. Color's not good, but anyway, you get the idea. We've got two basins here, we've got the toilet here, we've got the doors. So here in essence now, you can see on every floor, this floor was slightly different. Now each one of these floors, I just made the first floor the same, and I copied this information up. Okay, just remember this wall needs to be minus 255, needs to sit underneath the slab. Okay, I see this wall in the background there, that needs to be the same, minus 255. Okay, so in essence, you can see this is working well. I've made my bathrooms, I've copied them up, okay, and I've changed the door sizes, so this is all working well now. Okay, alright, so I've established that, pretty straightforward. Let's pull this back down. Okay, so every floor's bathroom technically is the same. Okay, and inside the building, this is also starting to work well now. This is all starting to look correct. Don't worry about these edges, we'll sort that out later on. But in essence, I've built my bathrooms and all that kind of stuff. Okay, so all I did was I just reproduced what was on the ground floor to match on the first floor.